Are you?
I was setting up to see. Can you see? Is that too much, or I need to? I
Could you
turn
make
those
the
lights.
light in your face? The background is the bomb.
Thanks, babe.
I think the lighting.
Hold on. That's what I was working.
Good morning, ladies. This is the day. Ooh, Sharifa, that looks so damn good. Stop it. You gonna make me just so cry. Cry, 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 cry. Okay. Yes, sure. Let me come because the buzz is not working. Okay. Give me a few minutes. Yeah. So what's good, guys? Where are you? I'm trying to see what happened to my screen.
Nice.
Wait.
Nice.
Where?
Need to shrink it.
I can't see you guys anymore. Like,
what do you mean?
I can't see.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you. What? Okay, so what is this? What's going on right here? But I hear you perfectly.
All right, good. Because I bought my laptop just in case with my tablet. So it worked.
All right.
Oh, lighting on me. Damn. Damn.
I have to open the door for my
Can you see me now?
My model just arrived, so give me a few minutes. This one? Yeah. And you can hang the clothes and all that. Hey y'all, my model Ashley is here. So Ashley, yes. Should you hear them say hello?
Hello, hi.
Hi.
So what happens in here stays in here. Oh, what happens in the backstage, you better not hold it.
It's like babies, right?
Exactly. Woo-wee. All right, my ladies. I don't know where y'all have disappeared to. So
You gotta fix that because I can see you.
Yeah, I can see you too.
what? Wickedy.
What do you think?
Sharifa, how's my lighting? Do I need more lighting? Can you see it?
No, you're good.
That's good.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so I was talking to you all. Now we're all right. Let me see. Go to the voila. Beautiful. Y'all look so good. Sharifa, that looks amazing. You did it. So could we see the next slide? Let's just kind of go through it real quick.
Yeah, so here's the challenge with this, okay?
Okay.
They had to be formatted as pictures, which means we just, you know, Karigo, we converted the PDFs to pictures.
No
So
problem.
however the PDF is formatted is what the picture is. So all of them don't fit.
Okay.
There
Right.
are 3 that don't fit, and you'll see them. I'm getting ready to click through them right now.
Okay,
So
thank you for the disclosure. So now I'm gonna look out for that because I'm already loving it.
That
so
one.
Okay. But
Right.
we see it though, right?
Right.
Oh, at least that one came out well. That's
The one, next one,
Okay.
next.
Okay.
That
Okay.
one.
Okay.
That,
Yeah. Yeah.
then
That
this,
came out good.
Hmm. Ooh, love it. Girl, you did it.
this. Now
Mm.
you see the bottom, Carigo?
Yeah. Go
Tell us
live.
who you are.
Fine. Tell us who
Okay.
you are. They're the one. Those are the ones who are going to get the ebook. Go live and tell us who you are and what's your biggest takeaway today from our session, from our
Okay.
meetup.
And then this one, timing is everything. So
Breathe.
you have on here a class that it's not showing.
Okay. Timing is everything. Okay. No problem.
Okay. So
Okay.
that's where we are with that.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Um,
Can you just like return that email? No, no, to me. No, no, never mind, never mind. I'm just gonna go in my thing and look for that email and see if I could pull out all that info, make sure that it's in front of me on my phone.
so the next thing is, as I'm looking through,
Mhm.
so like I said, the way we have this time,
Mhm.
hold on, is exactly the time that we need.
Right.
So use all the time.
Okay.
So
So stretch our
so first thing, we have the welcome. We're gonna allow people to come in and da 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 da. And Carigo, this is where you're gonna welcome people into the space where you do the breath and all of that.
Okay.
Take deep breaths. You know how you do. So do that.
Yes.
Then we have the self introduction.
Okay.
So that's Carigo, you, and then Sabrina, you. Take your 3 to 5 minutes. I'll let you know at 3 minutes. So if I haven't let you know, that means keep talking about yourself.
All right. Could you please send us a message now? Let's test how we would get that. What would that look like when it arrives?
Yeah.
Please.
So I'm wondering if I can put both of y'all in a group. Oh no, all panelists. So I'm gonna do it for the panelists.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, 3 minutes. Ah, that looks great.
Got it?
Sorry, let me. Oh, okay. I'm listening.
First of all, 3 minutes, I don't know what that looks like for me. So I might need to know that last 30 seconds. Okay, wrap it
Yeah.
up.
So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let you know at the first thing that I'll let you know is how much time you have left. So that's what it's going to be. So the first one, let's say 3 to 5 minutes. When I say 2 minutes, that's how much you have left. When I say 30 seconds, wrap it up because you got 30 seconds left.
Okay.
When you get to the presentation, I'm going to let you know when you have 5 minutes left.
Right.
And then I'll let you know 1 minute wrap up. So it'll be 5 minutes, it'll be such and such minutes left.
Right.
And then such 1 minute wrap up. It's always going to be either 1 minute or 30-second wrap up.
Are we still going to hear that's beautiful?
Yes, when you're styling, you're going to hear. When you're styling, you're going to hear, Carigo, that's beautiful. Great work, Sabrina. That's beautiful. Wrap it up. That means you got about, how much time do you think you need? Do you want me to give you 30 seconds or 1 minute?
A minute.
Okay.
Oh no, 30 seconds will make it even like.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, it'll be more on point. But
Yeah. So 30 seconds. So it's
Right.
going to be a 30-second wrap up.
Right. Yo, my model's looking so fly right now. So fly.
So the only thing that I'm feeling like I want you to really be mindful of, I don't think that you're not gonna have to worry about the presenting, because I think once I give you already know, you know, include your stories. If you don't see anything from me, that means keep talking.
Okay.
You know, then you'll get your 5 minute warning.
Right.
And then you'll get your 30-second wrap up.
All right.
right? I'm
Wow.
not really concerned with that. I think y'all are fine with that. Just take some breaths and, take your time and work through that, right?
Yes.
The only thing that I think you're probably going to need to stretch, I'm having deja vu right now. So y'all, this is good. Like we've done this before.
Wow.
This has happened before. So
Mm.
we're on the right track. Okay.
That's it.
So when, oh, that was a big, hold on, give me a minute, because that was a big deja vu.
Okay. Take a deep breath.
Yeah, that was, this exact thing has happened.
Wow.
Okay. So the self-introduction,
Mm-hmm.
when people talk about themselves, they tend to do it really quickly and don't want to say much about themselves. You know what I mean? This is where you get to talk about how you got into the industry. You know what I mean? How long you've been in the industry, and maybe your strengths, right?
Right.
So take those 3 to 5 minutes to do that. The other
Hold on.
thing is the conversation. After you do the presenting, then you're gonna have that 10-minute conversation where you're asking those questions.
Yes. Yes.
Don't rush through those questions.
All right.
You'll probably be able to answer them faster than you think, but don't rush through them. Even if you have to, Karigo, do a follow-up or include, ask, because I think this is where you want to be asking each other. This is where you wanted Sabrina to ask you, and then you ask Sabrina, right?
Yes, exactly. That we're having a conversation, the two of us.
So Sabrina, when we get to this slide, Karigo's going to ask you number one, you'll ask Karigo number two, she'll ask you number three.
Okay.
So it's going to be a dialogue between you two back and forth.
Okay.
If you haven't heard from me, ask each other another question. Remember that time when, how did you feel about that? Or do you know what I mean? Like ask each other.
Cuba at that time,
There you go. Ask each other like that. So that's how that's going to need to work. Other than that, we're good to go.
All right.
What were the when you was talking about when we introducing ourselves, you was like some 3 focus points so I can, breathe and
Talk about how long you've been doing this.
right.
What got you into the industry, the total industry, like natural hair
Right.
industry. You know what I mean? Maybe what your pain point was that pushed you into it.
Oh,
How
stop.
long you've been doing it, you know.
Mm. Okay.
I'm going to, let me see, go on Facebook.
Girl, you gave me chills with that question.
Mhm.
Wow.
Okay.
All right. I guess everybody's doing makeup time. I'm just gonna turn around. Everybody could be on this video. There's backstage going on, the shenanigans backstage. I'm like super pumped. I'm excited too.
Oh, shoo.
Who knew that we could do like something like this that is safe and impact so many people in different parts of the world, right?
I hope that's my mind.
Girl, we need to be a makeup artist. No, I'm just surprised.
Yes, here comes my motto. Here comes
Okay.
It feels good when they show up, right? And they,
because you been there when they nobody showed up.
Right.
hello, That's what I was about to say. This is what we call the
'Cause I was like, wait, do I have to have another hairstyle just in case?
a backup plan. All right, I just became my own model today. So guys, I'm gonna walk you through a do it yourself.
Oh no, you just don't know. I've been there. I had to figure it out on the spot.
You ain't never lied when they don't show up and you got to be. Oh God. So basically, we're saying, Ashley, we appreciate you. The breeders when they never showed up. Oh, dang. That's funny.
So our lashes don't look great up close, but they're on.
No, they're beautiful. Oh, up close. Oh, okay, that's fine. I didn't even notice it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. You know, because we tend to also judge ourselves.
Oh my gosh.
So much.
Number one judger.
Yeah, exactly. I need to hear my song, y'all, please.
Oh yeah.
All right. Sharifa, I love the fact that the pictures are looking so fly thanks to your son and all the people behind this. Could you imagine how our children came through? Yeah.
Ooh, yes,
Right?
yes.
Mm.
Oh,
Mhm.
8, 5.
Look at that, though, their efforts and energy. What? But I'll tell you what, my daughter was so over it with me yesterday.
Oh,
On top of her midterms, she was like, "Mom, this is not the time."
1, 2. All right, so this. Is posted.
My meditation song. Deep breath. The cheap girl. What? You're gonna have to throw away all your clothes now. Huh? And I don't mean throw away, but just kind of give them to somebody else because you're not gonna be fitting them in the next couple of months. But I would, if I were you, I would wait before you start going wild in your shopping. Be patient.
Oh, housekeeping. Another thing, Karigo, when you are welcoming, encourage people. If they have any questions, you put them in on the Q&A message board.
If they have any questions,
Yeah, questions we'll get to at the end. Put them in the Q&A message board, not in the chat.
not in
Q&A at the bottom.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a Q&A. All questions go in the Q&A.
If I
Not
put
in,
just pop it up and I'll hop on it. Okay?
say it again.
If I forget that because of what I've practiced and
Yeah. No, that's fine. Yeah, absolutely.
questions in the Q&A. Oh my God, I love this song. It reminds me of my sailor dude.
Oh my gosh.
So Sabrina, could you imagine we're taking what we used to do in a location, live, like online. What else can we do now?
Wow.
From where can we do it?
Right. Anywhere.
Right.
Wow.
Beautiful. It's gorgeous. Yeah, we've got our vibrant colors on. This is when you bring it down, ladies. Come on now. See this?
See, this is why Sabrina needs a shot. This is why she gonna take that shot.
Because you be doing that all day. We do it.
All right, let me introduce you.
There's your
You
mom.
might not be able to see everybody right now, but this is behind the scenes, honey. This is behind the scenes before we go live, y'all.
Hey.
Right? Oh, and she got
I
on.
hear that. Look at that. Yes. Lock life.
What am I missing out on, y'all?
You missed the mask. Show her the mask again.
Oh, okay.
Look, Karigo. Lock life.
Oh, so good. I love it. I love it. I love it. Y'all, we appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for the love. Taking the time out of your day to come share this day with us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So excited.
Sweet. Great. But I finally fell asleep. Great. That's a little late today, though, but I made it on time. That's good.
Hello? Okay.
Like, hey, I got dogs. They get me everywhere. I got 3 puppies, so they keep taking me up. What kind of baby you got? I have 2 Pomeranians, and then I have 1 Poupon.
I don't know why we got another one. Pandemic, I guess. And then I was like, what?
All right.
My husband Charles upset with me out, so upset.
I think he just wanted to make sure you was close to home.
I guess so. I told him outside. Oh, baby, I don't know why I was thinking about one another. He's like, but we love him. I'm like, yeah, we love him a lot when you here. The difference is two of us.
When I do that talking part, whichever place you feel more comfortable, that's why I'm gonna take my mask on. I just want you to leave yours on.
Okay.
And then when we go into the styling part of it,
Yeah.
we'll say something like, we'll go, me and Rodrigo, you know you're gonna have to work on that name.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna get it. I'm training my brain now to get it. But anyway, we're gonna have a conversation. Then after that, that's when I'm gonna set up and let me know if you feel comfortable. Right?
It's not me. I'll be all right.
Right. It's not. So I just want to make sure it's not too tall for you too. So
Okay.
Right. No idea.
My biggest one is like 16 pounds.
Nothing else to feed. And
Thank you. African folklore music, where they use those old traditional instruments. Could you just go through the slides with me, please? I'm not. You all see our mask? Bam! I love earrings. Oh, thank you. This is what's her name? That's Diana. She's from Baltimore. She's a British. Okay. She is here. That's what she does.
Girl, those eyes on your model are beautiful. Your eyes are beautiful. Oh
She
my
just did
gosh.
that. And I told her she needs to do this professionally.
They look, your eyes look so enchanting, like the shape, which you did really accents the shape and everything.
So that's why this rubber band right here. Oh yeah, we're gonna leave her right there. Ooh, look at you.
I tried to keep it.
Oh, this is like
You still wet.
you call
You still wet, babe. Come on.
Oh, Sharifa, could you just go through the slide with me, please?
Yes.
Just so, as a reminder, and then because we have to start thinking about going live.
Yep.
It's okay. We got time.
So after you do,
Need any water or anything? You need any
after
water?
you do your,
Need any water?
you know, your welcoming everybody in, and you do that part. And after you all do the self-introduction, then we'll move over to the next slide, which will be the rise slide.
All right.
So this is going to be after welcome and after self-introduction.
Ah, okay, rise. Okay.
And remember, I'm going to give you a 30-second wrap up.
Right.
So you know, who's going to go first?
And what do you mean?
Which one?
So for the self-introductions.
I'll welcome everybody, and then I'm just gonna hand it over to Sabrina, and we'll kind of go like that.
Okay.
You know? And then I'll go in, and then we could start on then when I go in, I could give the overview of what to expect.
Yes. So while you're talking, Kariko.
Right.
Yeah. So when I give you that 30-second wrap up, then you know we're getting ready to move to the next slide.
Okay, good. So that means the first one before this one is the one that was the ad, right? Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. This is the welcome and all of that. Beautiful.
Yes.
And we move on to the word of the day. The focus word is rise, and then break that down.
Mm-hmm.
And then no, sorry, welcome and then self-introduction. So so before you even do that, bring that up. It's still the other picture.
Exactly.
Okay, perfect. All right. And then Sabrina, boom, go ahead and introduce yourself. She gets 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. And then after her, I do mine. And
right.
And then we talk about rise.
Right. So when you get your 30-second wrap up, know that we're going into rise. So you can do your wrap up and then do the introduction, and then the next slide will come up.
Okay, perfect. Beautiful. That would be so perfect to help me out. Okay, and then also the overview of the challenge. That's great. From the rise, then we go to the overview of the challenge, which I love.
Exactly.
I get a great flow, and then Sabrina talks about her theme. Bam! And then I do, and then we get into the conversation that's gonna be so juicy. Oh yeah. Oh yes.
After before you do the presenting, after the overview of the challenge and the rise, then you'll start. Then you'll do this.
Okay. Personal effects.
Yeah, and then you'll go into introducing Sabrina, who will do her presentation.
Okay, and
that'll be this.
Okay, beautiful.
So each time when I give you your 30-second wrap up, know that you're moving to the next thing.
This was a vision and now it is thing. Oh my gosh. Yo, this is like blowing my mind. It's happening. We're not talking about it. It's happening. All right. So we get ready to go live.
We got about 7 minutes.
Oh, okay, perfect. What Facebook page? Sorry? What Facebook page is it live? Oh, Sisterlocks Master Stylist Mentorship Challenge. There you go. You ask her. Wait. What is going on? Hush, y'all. All of it is like reminding me, your show's about to be on. Your show's about to be on.
I'm gonna run and get my drink.
Right, right. Oh, yeah.
I got like, I got so many screens right now, y'all.
So many what?
Screens.
Oh.
I got timers,
I wish
timers.
you had someone who could video you. So we, as we make our video about this, you know?
Yes.
That's how you gonna do yours.
Yeah, I have to bring it here, you know, so that people could see what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm thinking about how I'm going to spin it, because I always love to spin it to the left. I have to really remember to the right, because when I do that, the whole laptop, everything is gone.
Those earrings are nice too.
Aren't they? Look, and she got, look, my girl with the colors.
Yes, I knew it was her when she came in with the yellow. I said, "Oh, that's Carigo's model."
It's that whole thing that Sabrina talks about, you know, your
Yes.
peoples, they know you. And she said, I did this for you. Could you imagine?
Yeah. Yes.
I put on this color for you, because she knows how many times, every time she wears that yellow sweater, I'm like, why are you not just leaving it with me?
Okay, 3 minutes till we go on Facebook.
Okay. All right. So. I'll just unplug it. La-vida, ooh, song. La-vida.
All right, where's my incense? I need it. Incense.
Y'all know?
I need an incense.
Incense, yeah. All right, y'all. I'm about to bless the place. My 7 chakra sage.
Yes.
Look at this.
It is time.
Yes. So we just want to thank the Most High.
In my head the whole time.
All right, y'all. It's time, and I'm just so grateful and thankful for everybody who's come after listening to this vision and feel inspired and to be a part of this. So let's get on. If somebody else,
Thank you.
people are coming in. People are coming in. Thank you very much. Welcome everybody who are coming in. We are so excited. We have like about 5 minutes. Hey, Andrea. Andrea Brooks is on. Thank you for joining us. We are getting ready for this big day.
Hi, Andrea. Thank you.
All our inspiration, all our goodness, everything that we have to share with y'all is exactly what you need to hear and be inspired to grow your businesses, to grow yourself, self-care, all that stuff. So really, really grateful that you're joining us early this morning. Let me lower my music. This was like welcome song. Yes. So how are you feeling this morning, Sabrina?
I'm feeling excited.
Ooh.
I'm excited for the journey that we have started together
Yeah.
and the infinite possibilities.
Oh, girl.
I'm excited.
Do not make me cry this morning, please.
Okay, we're not crying. No, we're here to.
I'm gonna need you not to make me cry so early this morning. We just got
We're
started.
not gonna do that, darling. Not this morning.
Oh. What do you hope that people could take away today? Like as we're preparing for people to come on, like
I mean, we got a lot of challenges going on in the world right now. And one thing that will help us, feel alive is how are we taking care of our hair and take away that helps you to get through the next day.
I'm telling you. Wow, I like that.
So how to care for it. We're going to talk about self-care. What are you going to get out of giving yourself that self-love?
Right. Because it's kind of difficult. It's almost impossible. To take care of other people or service the public if you're not doing a good job for yourself. So
we're just here to remind them how to bring it back center.
Right. That's real talk. And actually it's helpful for everybody, right? Even as we prepare to do this, it helps us not only just talk about it, but be about it, right?
Exactly.
And we know that we're getting results. So we are like out here trying to preach the gospel, like, yo, guys, we found a quick get from here to there real quick. And it starts with self-care. So so now we're just preparing to go on live. I'm waiting for the connection to go forward. Somewhere, somehow, go on Facebook, go live on Facebook. Yes. I'm waiting to see what's going on. I'm getting a blank screen. What are you getting, Sharif, on your end?
Nothing yet.
Okay. Go live, share group. Of course, when we were practicing this, the reality is, you got to make a couple of runs to make sure this stuff works.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's just taking its time to get there, but
yeah,
the screen is getting clearer.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
Yes. All right, so let's see. Hello, we have more attendees that have hopped on. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for being with us this morning. Hey, tell us where you are, who you are, what you do. Are you a consultant, a trainee, run a natural hair salon, or work for someone? Or just tell us who you are, where you're coming from, and what you hope to get from this session today. When you heard that we were coming together and creating a challenge on from mentorship to mastery, what about that title caught your attention? Yeah, so please go ahead and sort of maybe share that in the chat. If you have any questions though, there's a Q&A tab on the bottom, some housekeeping rules. There's a Q&A tab on the bottom of your screen, and you can put all your questions in there so we can address them as we move forward today. So welcome to the Sisterlocks Master Stylist Mentorship Challenge, and today's title is From Mentorship to Mastery. We have all kinds of tips and ways, and we're going to share our story. And I promise you, if you stay to the end, we will blow you away with our tips, because we're actually going to do live styling today.
Yes.
Sabrina and I are master stylists, and we are going to share what that experience has been for us. And we absolutely love community work. And we're so happy to be here with you. Again, my name is Kiriko Kabuka. For those not live yet, okay. For those who have not met me before, I am I'm an African girl from East Africa who came here with big dreams. And I absolutely love the life that I've created for myself here in America. Very tied to my past, and always go home to stay connected. However, it's a pleasure to be here and to be able to reach people on all different levels and everywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and let Sabrina talk to you guys while we continue to adjust our live preparation, and we're grateful that those who have showed up, we hope that you have a lot to take away today. So please, 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 in the chat box, go ahead and tell us what you hope to take away from this day.
Right. Oh, and introduce yourself. Say who you are, so we can talk to you as well. Me, I'm born and raised in the United States, but I've traveled a lot of places, and in traveling all over the world, pretty much, I see the same as far as when it comes to our curly textured hair. It's not understood or represented as much because of just not understanding. And so we're here to give you a focus point and to raise your level of understanding about your hair, be it if it's locked or natural. And for me, I started young because I used to do my sister's hair, and her texture was different from my texture. And that's where just growing up, that I realized that all hair types is not the same at all. And you have to maintain them and take care of them differently. Then after that, I had children of my own, which also had a different texture. And so in there, I was able to understand even more by even taking myself to cosmetology school. It helped me to understand the science. And that's another thing that's going on right now in the world. Like, you really have to understand what makes up our skin, our hair, the air we breathe. Why do we have to breathe it? How much of it do we have to breathe? And taking and understanding all of what we put into our bodies, it's what comes out. So I'm hoping you guys to stay around, get excited about learning something new, hearing from us, because we've been around a lot of parts of the world, and we can definitely tell you some really good stories and help you understand more of what your hair, or if you're a stylist yourself, how to understand more of your client's hair.
Exactly. Absolutely. I agree. So we're just going to give it a few more minutes. We're still in the early phases. Of course, as you would have it, the challenges of going on Facebook Live are occurring. However, we're staying optimistic because the good thing is when you have a backup recording, you could always post this for the people. But I'm sure that there are many people anticipating. And we'll keep trying as we move forward with our program. But we want to thank you so much again for those who are here. I think I see Chaz in the house. Hey, Chaz, how are you? Thumbs up. So anybody who is here for the first time or dealing with us, tell us who you are, where you're from, what you hope to get out of this session today. We are super excited, and we can actually now begin to just go ahead. So maybe some of you are wondering, so what is this all about, this challenge from mentorship to mastery? Sabrina and I have been really sitting and thinking, we've been listening. One of the things that I realized, we go into business because we're interested in solving a problem, right? Most of us don't even realize that we're in business to solve a problem. We are just passionate about what we're doing. We're just, we're not doing bookkeeping. We're not realizing what the income that's coming in, what we could do with it. We're not really focusing on like building generational wealth. And so for us to sit together and really say, hey, this work of our hands has to pay off at some point. It has a finite time, because at some point you're going to get tired, you're going to age, and the body cannot perform the same way, right? But once you still have good energy and you're strong, we want to make sure that you're maximizing your business while thinking about the future, because so many of us, sorry, there are guests coming in, but so many of us continue to have a situation and where our businesses are, we're neglecting them, and we need to come together and do what we need to do to grow the business. So there's things going on in here today, so just bear with me. I have all kinds of work and situations, but hey, honey, clients coming in, but it's a good thing so that we can all be here and share this moment together. So Sabrina, go ahead and let us know. So what are you thinking is set out for the people today? Like what was the vision for today?
You told me. So my vision for today was to help and to give and to receive and to uplift. Mm-hmm. All of which means right now, I know it's, we really are dealing with some serious issues, but on top of those serious issues, I want to empower you to know that it's going to get better. Let me explain some ways, or let us show you some ways, and let's have some fun with it so that you'll even feel even better today. Appreciating you coming by just to even listen to what we have to say.
Exactly.
But my vision is so that you understand that all of us are going through certain changes, and we have to make some other changes in what we do. So I would like to offer you some other suggestions that you can possibly try to help you elevate yourself. How you don't have to work as hard, minimizing your time away from home.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you so much. So any questions so far, any visions of what you hope to have gotten out of this today as we move on with our program? And so for me, for those of you who are probably meeting me for the first time, my name is Kiriko. This is Faye back there. We work in here together as we grow our business at Lock Sisters in Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland, and Owings Mills, Maryland, to be exact, actually. I love this center. I love this crowd. Hey, Sisterlocks lady, yes. We have some clients who got their t-shirts. We got the crowd roaring in here as well. But basically, for me, what I feel that I can bring to the table is that I've had a lot of experience here. I've had experience working here and in various places in the world, to be honest. I also have another institution in Kenya called Studio 28 Nairobi. Where they specifically just focus on Sisterlocks and, of course, natural hair care. And so it's a small business. However, I have learned to conduct business in different countries with different cultures. And so understanding culture and how to serve your clients and things like that is super important, right? So that's the way I would bring value to to this table, to take you from here to here real quick in a short time and yielding results. Okay, now the other thing is what is it? The other thing is we want to talk about our word of the day. Every time we do a challenge, there is a focus word, and today's focus word is we rise, right? Rise. What does that mean? We are rising to the occasion to do what's right. We are rising to the occasion to serve our clients at a high with higher value and quality. We are rising because Sabrina and I have come together to be responsible to continue to, as master stylists, to continue to conduct these classes because we've worked for the industry, we've worked for Dr. C. We know what it's been like backstage. We've done shows for her, we've done photo shoots. So we know the vision of which Dr. C cares to go, wants to move in, but we also are aware that the industry is growing rapidly, that the head office alone can't do it. So we are here. So here we are to support those of you who have a lot of questions and can't get to head office. So here we are. And so that's the other thing. So that's the responsibility. We also want to make sure that we eyes for influence. We want to make sure that we influence you positively. Just like Sabrina and I were, it's about influencing each other to do this, to get enough courage, to come online, to know that sometimes when things don't always work your way, just stay positive. Like today, this whole thing supposing to go live, and even if it's not there yet, we continue to try until it does. And in the meantime, we continue with our program. How do you react when you have something that you didn't expect to happen? You just go with the flow, because actually that was meant to happen so that you can grow. You know what I mean? So and so that's the other thing, is about the S is for self-care. If you don't care about yourself, your own hair and stuff, so you can't care for your clients, really, real talk. If you don't take time to get your massages, to get your mental mind right, to take a vacation, to sleep, to take a nap, all that good stuff, to eat well, to exercise, it goes on. If you're not doing that, it's going to be really hard for you to serve the masses, especially if you are asking yourself, if you're hungry to grow your business. In order for you to grow your business, you must be able to take care of yourself first. Oh, the cape's over there. Yeah. Yeah. So let's see the next thing. Otherwise, the last but not least is empowerment. The whole idea is empowerment. How do you feel empowered enough to even feel courageous enough? Like there was a class last Sunday, and some of those sisters were saying, they wish that they had more support and people who are, more teachers, and because they're feeling like they're out here, they can't reach head office, and they're looking for like mentees, mentors. Why don't you help? And so I was like, great, I'm so happy to hear that, because that's exactly what we've been putting our foundation to bring more empowerment, even for us to be empowered enough to grow up, because we've been in the industry for a while, to get to a place where we can now begin to share what we know and support the community. Yeah. So what do you have to say? Do you have anything to add on that, Sabrina? That was on how you rise.
I like that too. So the rise, I would say, for the responsibility part of it, I feel like we both are accountable for each other. So I hold you accountable for certain things and you hold me accountable. So that's how we keep the responsibility of going forward and giving our clients the best of who we are, giving our students, our future students, and our, and other individuals all over the world. So my responsibility is to make sure that you understand as much as much as about hair as I can possibly give you. The influence, for me, is more like review. So it's all in how my influence is. When I get a review, I have to really understand where the client is coming from, and my influence on you tells you that I know what I'm talking about. If my clients are telling you like, this is happening, and thank you so much. My self-care, I let you know that I take care of my hair and I take care of myself, because I'm getting in that age where it's I need to make sure that my limbs are still good and I'm still can, hang out with my grandchildren one day when my son's playing to give me some. My empowerment is where my strength comes from, is from where my heart comes from. So I have a small disclaimer. Sometimes I get a little serious. And that's because of that passion that I want you, that love. And it comes off a little, strict and things like that. But understand, a girlfriend is here for you. I'm really here for you, okay? But that empowerment comes in from deep. It comes from my ancestors. It comes from, when we always made sure we felt our best when our hair was just done.
Yeah, can you hear me? All right,
Yes.
so today, as we move forward, we want to make sure that we recognize our sponsor, Personal Effects, natural specialist, right? She's in the Ohio region. She's also a master stylist, and she's a part sponsor of today's event. So we want to thank you very much, Chaz, for showing love and light and always supporting us. And we also, with Chaz, we've been backstage doing some things for the Sisterlocks head office. And I think my favorite experience was when we were all picked up with a limo. Do you remember that song? I was like, what? And that big plaque waiting for you in the car, like welcome Carigo, and the driver. I mean, that was epic. And
Amazing.
guess what? That was because there was work waiting for us. So that was to wow us. And when we were done, but that weekend, we're like, done. And that same limo dropped us off at the airport to go back home. But that was one of like my favorite moments with all the masters.
All of us.
And we're all 5 of us. So thanks, Chaz, for joining us today and supporting us as always.
Yes. Thank you, Chaz.
Uh-huh. All right. So today, what could you expect? We're going to do, as master stylists, we want to introduce you to how it actually works. When we get when we're hired or a contract shows up and we're told, hey, this is the theme, right? So we're given a theme. We're not told what to do. You just have your theme, and you and your individual creative self has to create props, a hairstyle. Will it work? Speak with the makeup artist, a photographer. What are you looking for? So it's our job to go backstage. One of the things that we've had to do, and we've learned that we as master stylists have to get involved on every level. Where is the show taking place? We need to be in there. Where are you planning to take the shots? Because the times when we went and we laid back and they said that they were going to handle it for us, it was a hot mess. So from the beginning, we like to get there maybe a day or 2 before, make sure we look at the hair that we're looking at. For us, it's super important that hair is clean before we start working on it. Like that's the thing about Sabrina and I, that I think not only are we Libras, but we're like, our work ethics are very similar. You could almost really, it's like cookie cutting our services, only that, down to the music, right?
Right.
And although we retail different things, but our concept and how we conduct business and our ethics is very similar, because we've actually worked together to check each other and give each other the service and give each other feedback. So we're going to give each other honest feedback. So today Sabrina's going to talk about her theme, and which is COVID-19, and she's going to do a presentation on that. And then later, we're going to see the interpretation on her model's hair. So Sabrina, take it away.
Yeah. So, hey everyone. My subject was COVID-19. Within COVID, we all have to be very concerned on how we take care of ourselves. So I'm going to start with the letter C. I'm going to call it clean. Clean, because before you are able to style your hair, before you're able to actually see hair grow honestly, it first must be clean. I would start off with the CWC, which is conditioner, wash, conditioner, where the hair is pre-treated with conditioner before shampooing, so it loosens the moisture, which means your hair is more able to be detangled. You will lose less hair in the comb, and it will feel more stimulating to the scalp, because just rubbing our hands on our scalp is one form of stimulation, yes, but a brush or a comb works just as well too, also stimulating hair growth. It was different growing up when I had my two sons because I had to understand their curly textured hair. And with that being said, our definition of our characteristics of our hair comes in different forms, which is straight, and you might hear that out there in the world as a number one, or wavy, and we can classify that as a number two. Or we have curly, also could be classified as 3, and then we have over curly. And what I've learned with my son's hair, my son was over curly. And what does that mean? That means that his curls were so curly that it was very challenging to get to his scalp. So that means I had to understand how to condition my son's hair first to detangle it so that he's not screaming and being upset. Then allowing the shampoo to actually do the job, which is cleanse the scalp because that's how the hair grows. And then once rinsing that, I put the conditioner back on as if I was just lotioning my son. So over the years, my son's hair now is even curlier and thicker because of the practices that I started with him ever since he was born. And I have 2 of them. Now I'm going to discuss O. O is over manipulation. The tendency to always handle styling and having to touch the hair more frequently than needed, it turns and leads to breakage and poor length. So when you stretch out even your locks and your natural hair by over manipulating, it will eventually cause damage. Will you see it right away? No. But over time, that is something that you will definitely see. I learned with my curly textured hair that if I didn't condition it on a daily, maybe every other day, I would lose more hair and cause breakage within my own hair. So those are things that I've learned when I was a loose natural about my own hair. Now, one area, because I'm going to move to the letter V, that I want you to over manipulate is voting. I'm not here to vote to tell you who to vote for. I'm just asking you as a person here in the United States, or maybe not even in the United States, but is able to vote. I would like for you to either go to the website www.usa.gov, or you can go to www.vote.gov. And I have one more just in case some of those letters you don't like. You might like the www.eac.gov. So I'm gonna just switch up. I'm being serious. Let me bring it down some. So it's very important that we go out and do that. I'm gonna go to the letter I, the inversion method. In this process of turning your head upside down in order to increase blood flow to the scalp, this increased flow of blood to the scalp region actually promotes hair growth. This inversion method is usually done a few times a month. Even you can just wet your fingertips with just conditioner, and you would turn your head upside down for about 5 minutes. Now understand, if you start to get dizzy, just stop. It's just a moment. You just need a moment. You just need to feel that blood rush into the scalp, and you use your fingertips with some conditioner now, and then rub it on your scalp. Come back up, and you should start to feel the blood flow, and it should feel good to you. Now, the word D. My do-it-yourselfers, I love you. But if you are still having challenges, I need you to understand that I offer some classes here in Orlando. You can go to my website, which is www.queenofroots, with an S, Also, I have a ebook with the 19 questions that I have been asked for over a decade. With that book, it also gives you information on, I'm going to tell you what you can do and what you shouldn't do. It's going to be a step-by-step guide giving you information to all of those questions. So I will definitely answer every last one of those questions. So if you're definitely interested in the ebook, you must, can we go? I forgot what I was supposed to say. You on mute. You're on mute. You are muted.
Okay, there we go. So basically what Sabrina's saying, that if you are, if you're interested in getting her ebook for free, your assignment is to go live today after this event on our Facebook page and tell us, and tell us why you know you should get this book for free, and tell us what you're doing, tell us who you are, what kind of mentorship you need, and just, you know, and because of that, and if you're the first one who does it, that, you know, this is what you get. So it's the value of $20, and so that will be sent to you after. And if you have any questions for her after that, then you could follow up with her. But I think, you know, as you know, she's really good at what she does. Those 19 tips, you want to make sure you have them in your business, and that alone can begin to help you shift your business and move it and propel it in the direction in which you want to be moving it in. You know.
Right. So, thank you. So I would say, why do you need to have this? It's to help you rise your level of understanding of your hair, to keep up the responsibility of caring for your hair, to help you influence others to want to take care of their hair. Remember, if you don't take care of yourself, how can we take care of others? This is why self-care is very important. And with all of this being said, I'm here to empower you to be the best you. Let everyone see you shine.
Wow, that's beautiful, Sabrina. Thank you. Thank you. Wow, I've got chills. So those of you who just heard what Sabrina says, who can connect with that? Anybody wants to throw some words in the chat? If you're feeling it, you see her purple hair, send her purple hearts if you like that, or thumbs up, whatever, clapping your hands if you were feeling what she's saying. Sabrina, thank you so much. I love the way you emphasize the self-care, because that's super important. And as we rise, the S is self-care.
So I remember I went to Panama last year. So actually this year, hold on, we ain't moved to the next year yet. So my last trip out of the country, I was in Panama. And one of the things happened when I came back, and this is in February. So this is right at the brink of what we now living in as far as COVID. And so what happened was I wasn't feeling too well. And I had to, let my clients know that I wasn't feeling well. So I just want my clients to know, as a stylist and things, what I felt that I came close to, I did protect myself. I let my clients know that I have a cough, that I can't stop coughing, and I'm going to wear a mask. Do you have a problem with that? And on the days I didn't feel well at all, I just rescheduled really all of my clients. So for me, I felt like that's the closest I've been, and I've been protecting my clients all as well. Thanks for loving my hair. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for the love. Thanks again, Sabrina. I really appreciate that. And you gave us a lot. There was the way you used the COVID acronym by talking about clean hair, and over manipulation, and wishing that everybody could go vote. For me, that V is about voting and making sure you do it. Like I went yesterday and I voted. I was there at 6:45, and we waited for 2 hours. So you may need to make sure that you give yourself time. Go with a full stomach. Don't go there hungry. You'll get irritated real quick. Bring a chair if you need to. But one of the things that I felt was kind of crazy was the way we haven't taken into consideration the people with disabilities. They weren't really considered in that. And my son and I ended up having to help some older ladies behind us who were like literally almost in tears about their back, but they were so determined, to vote. So there's no reason why we shouldn't be out there. That was a good example, I think, for the youth to be able to see that the elders with back problems and all, they're out there, because if you don't vote, you better not complain, after anything goes down after November 3rd. So early voting is on. Just Google where it is in your area, in your neighborhood. It started yesterday. If you did your ballot, you could go drop off your ballots. We thought we were all going to go with a family, and my daughter at the last minute was like, I don't feel like being in a crowd. We honor each other with respect, but I was like determined to be there. All right. Anything else, Sabrina? Any questions?
I would say for the voting, for me, it was an hour and a half. I would definitely say, I would say drink water, but then if you have to go to the bathroom, so it's one of those things where you really have to, it's like a plan. You have to either eat breakfast or not eat breakfast. But I would definitely say carry something, so that you can sit on, because the wait is no joke. But the line is moving. It took me an hour and a half, and I wish I would have just bought ant spray, because the ants was everywhere. And I was like, when I say they're really trying to make it very difficult to vote, it's never been this challenging to go cast a ballot and things. And now they're in the judicial system, trying to change what vote is considered and what vote won't be considered. So we really got to understand what's going on.
I didn't know who else. I was like, it was like miny mo for me, because I didn't know these other people. All I knew is that I needed to vote to get somebody.
And one of the things too that frustrated me about this too was that they normally send out a sample ballot. We had amendments. We had very important amendments that we needed to vote for. And then it was I've always do my homework before I vote. So I call it my cheat sheet, because I'm coming in with the answers.
Nice.
Because I've already did my homework. That's another thing. You got to spend it, and it is not like 30 minutes. It's like studying. You really got to go in. Like, I had to vote for judges. And I'm not going to talk about my ballot, but I'm just saying, honey, that's where we are right now. You have to make sure the right judge is in office, because they are the ones, the local governments are going around making changes. That's not what we're here for.
No, but it is part of why we're here, because we were talking about how it's important to make sure that we encourage everybody to vote. And just like you're saying, it is so important to do the homework. And I have a son who doesn't do anything unless he does like all kinds of research. So going with him was ideal, because he was pointing at all the plaques on the ground and telling me who these people were and why he thought this. And I was super impressed. And it was his first time to vote. So when we walked in there and they asked, are you a first timer? And he said, yes. They did this whole, it was like an African dance. Everybody was just yelling and shouting. And he was like, oh, great. And I really thought he deserved it, because he had done his research. 21 years old. He had done all his research, and I'm super impressed. So, all right, moving along. Okay, so next in the program is the BLM. All right, that's me. It's my turn. Whoop. All right, BLM. BLM stands for Black Lives Matter. For those who are just meeting me for the first time, my name is Kirego Kabuga. I am the creator of the Sisterlocks Mentorship Challenge Academy, and I am owner of Natural Hair, of a couple of businesses, Natural Hair Journey, which is an education system, Lock Sisters in Owings Mills, Maryland, and Studio 28 in Kenya. I'm so passionate about this topic specifically because it affects me directly. This Black Lives Matter is not about just Black lives, it's also African lives matter, Asian lives matter, all lives matter. But in this particular time, we're just talking about how a lot of people, many people believe that racism is no longer existent, but we could see in the latest posts on technology, the crazy, the murders of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and many more, just in the span of the last 6 to 9 months. It's been super devastating. And that's just to capture the last couple of months. Think about what's been happening, 400 years of slavery, right to Rosa Parks and her issue on the bus. And what about Martin Luther King, who had the dream? Has his dream ever come a reality even after he has passed on? So we have to stop and ask ourselves, So, so the Black Lives Matter movement is a way for Black people who experience racism on a daily basis to come together to support one another. But my challenge to you is, what are you doing within your community? Because we could cry to others about them respecting our lives, but what are we doing about respecting ourselves and our lives in our communities? So, Black Lives Matter is an issue that is not only happening in the United States, it's actually a global situation right now. We're seeing stories coming from Latin America, from Asia, from Europe, and not to forget, even within the continent of Africa. How shocking, right? I would like for us to today just take a couple of steps back. I would like for us to just take a few steps back and go back into history. There's something I would like to bring enlightenment to. Democracy existed in Africa long before the white man ever set foot into the continent. For hundreds of years, most African communities kept their unity intact by following the system of ruling themselves, right? So we governed ourselves. We didn't wait for other people to come to show us how we're going to govern ourselves. And the way they governed it was like through eldership. So people who had lived and became elders in their community, those are now elders who are now gray, who had lived a life experience, who had shown good character along the way, who had shown responsibility, who shown leadership qualities. All of those things they were selected over time by their elders to join the eldership council. People then, the community, would then bring their matters, whether it was challenges of marriage or, children, health, animals, farms, land, crops, whatever it was. This council was believed to have enough knowledge to be able to shed light on whatever circumstances, issues, or problems that were brought to them by the community. They were what we call problem solvers. Why is this important to me? Because this is pretty much the culture and how I govern myself, to always look at what problems need to be solved. How can I be of help in bigger numbers? Than just being behind the chair and one client at a time. How else can I shift and shake other people? This has been really, really, really important to me. So I use these concepts and foundation from the basis of my African culture and my African background. And I want to share a passage from an author, Sebumfe Some. She's a West African author, and she writes about the spirit of intimacy. Her book is amazing. It's a short read, but it talks about spirit of intimacy, and intimacy in terms of relationships with your children, your spouses, your mothers, fathers, siblings. I mean, she just talks beautifully about how our intimate relationships then can infuse great fire in the community as we learn to commune with each other positively, then this energy we can actually grow in our community. So she says this, and this is a quote from her book, how she defines an African community. And this is the concept that I use about this Sisterlocks mentorship community as well. Community is the spirit, the guided light of a tribe, whereby people come together in order to fulfill a specific purpose and to take care of one another. The good of the community is to make sure that each member of the community is heard and is properly given the gifts he or she has brought to this world. Without this giving, the community dies. So let's take that back a bit. The good of the community is to make sure that each member of the community is heard and is properly given the gifts and that she and he brought to this world. So some of the things that I've found is like in the mentorship program, while I've been hearing from people and doing surveys, some of the things that they have challenges with is to find someone who's actually going to be supportive, someone they can trust, someone they feel that is actually willing to impart information onto them, because the majority of the sisters feel that other sisters don't want to share their information. They don't want to impart the information. I don't know why that is, but in imparting that information, guys, you grow, okay? So what else? Now, without this giving, the community dies. And without the community, the individual is left without a place where he or she can contribute. Guys, could you just give me a moment, please? Shh, sorry, I can't do this. Yeah, so without this giving, the community dies. And without the community, the individual is left without a place where he can contribute Without sharing our gifts to the community, we experience a blockage inside. So some of us are blocked by something. A lot of us, I mean, I know I'm working on my own blockages. Sabrina and I, we have a business coach um, uh, uh, who is currently working with us, and we're pushing through our blockages. And we know that we have these, and sometimes we're super vulnerable, to even to admit. But if you're willing to grow, these are some of the ways, and you need community. I couldn't have done it without myself or having an accountability partner, like her, or even being vulnerable enough to talk about my challenges to her, and the same thing as her. And so even for us feeling our worth, to invest in coaches, people who can actually help us push through our blockages and grow and blossom to become better mentors, to become better leaders in our community, and most of all, to really teach others how to bring about the love that we have for this industry. Um, so now, so the blockages can be spiritual, mental, and physical in so many ways. So we find that there's also a lot of like elements in the traumas that we've been through in our communities, are the devastation of our homes, our family homes, the disconnect with family members, and sometimes a lot of stress. So I think like if we even start in a space of gratitude, for me, starting from a place like, even no matter how difficult things seem, if you just at least start in a place of gratitude, just today saying, thank you, God, I woke up today, and then you can build up on that. Oh, thank goodness I have a roof over my head. Thank God it's warm while it's cold outside. There are people out there who are homeless, So when we find ourselves really building on, so for me, when it comes to Black Lives Matter, is for me to start from a place of gratitude, from the basics. So that way I can rise, having the responsibility to remember, why I'm here. That it's no incident that an African girl came from all the way far and from East Africa to be here, to meet a people, to make a difference wherever I can, because what the difference that I make here, I'm also making a difference back home. So to make my ancestors proud, to be encouraged, to make my parents super proud that I didn't come to America to shame them. Because in our African countries, when we send our children, we're like, please don't go shame us, That's always the first thing. And to know that I've made it all these years, in this side of the world without shaming my family makes me really, really happy. And not to mention to meet new people. My clientele has become my family. My best friends started off in a relationship of a chair. Okay, they started in the chair as a client, and they are my best friends. I have a small crew, but that's how our relationship started. And we laugh about that. And they're still my clients, and in and out of the chair, and best friends, and a circle that is super supportive. Also, knowing that when you work on yourself, on that self-care, you will then begin to start attracting like-minded people into your chair, because that's what you want, what we call dream clients. And today, Sabrina and I are going to be very, we're fortunate to introduce our dream clients, and some of our dream clients who are always supportive to us and always seeing the vision, even when it's not always the vision for everyone, but, who always feel like, hey, I'm ready to be in it and enjoy the process, So today, my client, slash sister, slash sister, I will be doing a demo and using my Black Lives theme to illustrate and demonstrate how I feel through this whole process. And Sabrina will be doing COVID-19, and she can probably go ahead and introduce her client. And by the way, my girl is Ashley. All right. Where are you from again, Ashley? Louisiana. Some Louisiana. And here we are in Maryland. Could you imagine? Because we rise. All right. Go ahead, Sabrina. Introduce your girl. We can't hear you.
Let me unmute.
Okay,
Okay, there you go. I was like, it won't let me unmute.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I got my girl Cassandra. And we have on our Queen of Roots shirts on today. And so we all ready over here too.
All right. Anybody has any questions? Do we have any questions?
She had, Ashley said something. Andrea.
Could you go ahead and read the question, Sabrina, please?
When I heard about the webinar Transforming to Master of Your Craft, it piqued my interest. I believe the Lord requires each of us to do his or her best. So in order to be the best, a person has to strive for the best. As a result, I would like to strive for mastery. I like that.
Oh my gosh. How do we get to meet her? Yes. Send us your information. We would love to talk to you further.
It was beautiful.
That was
That was definitely beautiful.
oh my gosh, that was so amazing. All right. Wow. Is there more, Sabrina, before we get into it?
So I was born and raised in Washington, D.C. and pretty much raised in Prince George's County. What I loved about the metropolitan area is the culture of all cultures. Like it has the Indian aspects, it has the Jewish aspects, it has the African aspect, and it has, world history.
Right.
And growing up there to actually, they have museums all over. Like one of my favorites was the one that's in Baltimore, the Black Museum, the Black owned and operated museum, wax museum actually.
Yes, the Reginald Lewis Museum.
I took my boys there every single year. They hated it. I don't care. But I took them there and anytime someone would come and visit, one of the places I would take them there is to that place. But what I'm saying as far as like Black Lives Matter, what I loved about being in the metropolitan area is that all of the cultures all together, you can learn about them all. Like they would, on the mall, they would let the Indians, the true Indians do their dance and their celebrations and things like that on them. Like you could actually go into a real tent that they, you know what I'm saying? It was so for me, all of that history is from there. That's where I understood who I was, where I come from. And then when I go to these other states and countries and things like that, they don't have it.
Yeah, of course. And that's why it's important to support these museums. You'd be surprised that there's more of them going to visit these museums than more of us. And I think that if
Native Americans.
Yeah, and no, well, the Caucasian people will go visit our museums more than we actually go and spend more time in them, because obviously they're curious and they're about history and things like that. And we need to be just as curious about our history, because in order for us to know the direction in which we're going, we need to know where we've come from. And if we don't lay out a foundation and feel empowered, then we're always going to be responding emotionally to everything and having to find ourselves like as if we hit the restart button each time, because we're like not even allowing ourselves to push through. So, but it's work. I'm not saying that it's easy. There's nothing, even to transform to a master of your craft, that wasn't easy. Goodness, I remember when I came down for the competition. First of all, Sabrina's gonna hear this for the first time because I've never said this. Okay, all right. So when it was my turn, so if to enter the competition to become a master stylist, you had to send pictures of your work and write an essay, exactly 200 words. I'm gonna tell you, for real, for me, it was my dream clients who made that happen. I wasn't even thinking about it, right? So one sister called me, she said, oh my gosh, she's in the Sisterlocks community. When you send your information with their starter kit, so you get those emails from head office. So she was like, girl, did you see what they're doing? They're asking for models. You need to enter this because you should. I was like, girl, whatever. She called me. And then the other client comes and she sits in the chair and she opens it up on her phone and she's like, you're going to enter this or what? I said, I can help you with the essay. I was like, what is wrong with you people? No, I'm not going to do that. She said, it's 200 words. I'm a great writer. She's a writer for Girls Track. And I don't know if you guys know about Girls Track. It started at a very small community of women working out and holding each other accountable. And now even Oprah supports the organization. It has blown up. So she was like, I'll write you the 200 because I know you well enough. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is wrong with you? So I left it. So it came to deadline day. The sister with the 200 words, she sends it to me. The other one is like, do you know you only need to do 3 photos? Come on now. So anyway, so we move into that, right? So I go ahead and I'm sending it. I send it on the deadline day. And guess what? I get an email, and I've let it go just for them to leave me alone. I get an email saying you've been selected you're the one of the 3 finalists. I was like, what? You have to come to San Diego on this day, and the show's going to be like this, and these are all the rules. These are the judges. These are da, 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 da. You get this whole thing, and you're like, okay. So I set out, and I went, and I was like, okay, let me buy my ticket. So I'm thinking like, okay, how much is it? My children are in school. If I leave, family, working it out with the hubby and all of the stuff. And it meant that it probably me go instead of the whole family go, just because of the finances. Anyway, so we went through this whole thing. And then I go ahead and I buy my ticket, because I'm that type of person. I like to plan early. I go ahead and I buy my ticket because okay, that's done. I'll just plan my life now around that. I get another letter from head office saying, oh, things have changed. It's going to be on this day. I'm like, what? So I call my mother. I'm like bawling at this time, because when I called to change my ticket, they're like, it's going to be $600 to change your ticket. I'm like, oh no, I might as well have paid for the whole family, Anyway, so I'm going back and forth. My mom's like, just go for it. Change the ticket, blah, blah, blah. Let go. Don't worry about the blockages. Just, if you feel this is for you, go for it. I go ahead. And I'm like, I bite the bullet. Then when I went to pay for the ticket, it was actually $300 less than the person who I talked to before. So I was like, oh, okay, the road is opening up, right? So as you know, Sabrina, Eshu, the crossroads, when we're at the crossroads, we need favor to happen so that we know which direction we're going to go in. And so anyway, I ended up going. I went with a focused mind, like everything. I packed, like in my suitcase. I thought, what if? I went to what if they don't offer us dryers? Boom, my hand dryer. What if there's no this? I'm just like, what if I need this and it's not there? So I had to pay extra for packages, for my extra suitcases. And we're going to get into some questions about this industry, which now really, this is a perfect segue on being a master stylist, or what it took for us to get there. So there were challenges along the way. There are challenges along the way, and also, things that kind of make you doubt yourself along the way. But I had a community that was backing me up in a way that I was like, I don't even really want to do this. But when I turned my mind and wrapped my mind like, oh shucks, I'm going, I went for it. I paid for extra luggage. I didn't care. I just was like, whatever, I get there. So now you know what I did? I was like, you know what? I'll just get there early. I'll just get there early. I changed my ticket. They couldn't get me there closer to the date, but I was like, I'll just get there early. But it worked to my advantage, because the hotel I stayed in was walking distance to the head office. And then I got to know where the head office was. I got to know where all the vegan restaurants were, and they were all within walking distance. I got to know where the Sally's was, just in case I needed anything from there. I was even like, okay, I might get ghetto and buy that dryer and use it and give it back. I was just like, whatever it takes. If it means I need it, then I'm going to run to Sally's and do whatever I need to do. So I thought about all that. And then I saw a notice of like volunteers needed, because I was there. So I was there like 2 days before. So I went and volunteered. I got to know the entire building, the shipping, who does all the shipping, who Jerry is. She takes the orders, who packages it. I went in and I was taking notes on who you are and locking them in and creating relationships, because that's what I do. And it works now to my advantage, So by the time it was time for us to like perform and get our models ready, I knew what corner I was going to be working in. I knew, because I helped set up, I helped set up for the show. I decided to volunteer. I met Chaz. She knew that I was a competitor. I didn't know she was the judge, because we didn't see their photos. I knew the name, and the way she looked at me, I knew something was different, because she looked at me from head to toe. And I was like, oh, why did that sister look at me like that? But I didn't know she was a judge until I met her that afternoon. And I was like, oh, that's why she looked at me like that. She knew who I was, and I got to know her. We built a really good rapport. And, after that, it was action, and I had focus. And I was calm, even when things would go sideways, but it was like really cool. So Sabrina, that was my experience, and you can add yours. So tell us, how does styling influence your industry? Because of that, we had to go through that to become master stylists, to prove ourselves, to go through the challenges, sometimes cry, yeah, we've cried.
Yeah. So, I can, so for me, when I won, my plaques are up there. I know y'all can't see them, but they're right up there. But, yes, back then I had to travel from Orlando to Atlanta, and I had 2 models, and I had a makeup artist, We all dressed alike. I mean, I poured it on, but I wanted it to be as big as I possibly could make my mind go and take it. So I understand all of that. So how has stylists influenced me in the industry is I'm looking at the styles and want to make it so that it's not too tight and it's not uncomfortable. I get it. Some styles are, I mean, like smack dab, like, ooh, it's hot. And then I'm like, how she sleep at night?
Hello.
Does she need a Tylenol?
Can she bend her head?
Wait, is she gonna have those bumps later? So when I look into the industry, I do look at the style. I will say, yes, girl, that is popping. But then the next thing is, can she sleep?
Right.
Can she take it down? God forbid something happens. How does your client take her hair down? So when I go into a competition, my competition is, yes, for my style to be impeccable but painless.
Hello.
So it just took me to a different level, because when I go for competitions, and I know I haven't been one in a while, but I think one might be coming up here. So when they say that you can add hair extensions and things like that or whatever, I'm not gonna win. I know that's not even my expertise. I'm not saying I can't do it. I just choose not to, because to me, it just bothers me. I can see the follicles saying, why are you doing this to me? Or, it just makes me feel uncomfortable. So as far as my lifestyle, I live it. I live it every day. I shampoo my hair sometimes twice a week. Why? Because I work out. These curls, I have to sit under the dryer. I have to condition my hair. It is it's high lift and it's purple. My hair's not falling out. I don't have hair falling out in the sink or nothing like that. My hair is going to be beautiful. Now, how long does I want it? About right here. I'm good. I've had long hair already.
Right.
So for me, that's how styling has influenced me in the industry. And then as far as my lifestyle, you can tell I'm living it. I turn heads, honey. They like, wait, I like your hair. Thank you. All right. So I would say,
there's a question here. Someone, I think Andrea has asked, who taught you how to style?
So remember, when we started, I was telling them that my first client was my sister. So we 4 years apart. So I've been in her hair for at least a good 6-7 years. And I'm not saying I was self-taught. I want to say that the energy for me and the fact that I was able to go to these different museums of all cultures and things like that, I felt like it was just something resonated in me. So I can see what enhanced us as women, what makes us feel royalty, what makes us feel brave, strong. And with that being said, I went to cosmetology school. So I did a lot of practicing on I still have my baby dolls where I taught myself how to braid in their hair first. So it's one of those things where I feel like all of the experience that I've been through, everything that I've saw, and yes, I've taken classes from other people, but who taught me was like my inner being, just allowing it to express itself. That was a good question.
That was a great question. And I think some of us, it comes innately, and I can remember from the age of like 8, I was more interested in taking care of my own hair than, anybody's hair, just because of the headaches that I would go through, where I literally cut my hair at the age of 8, rebelling to be taken to the salon because my mom was not a hairstylist. So her thing, though, middle class Kenyan woman, was to take your children to the salon every Saturday and have them do lines, and lines are basically cornrows. And that, so the hair is washed because, the children in school with PE, physical education, we're running up and down, dust everywhere. So my mom was really adamant about staying clean and things like that. So every weekend, Saturday, we knew, my sister and I, our routine was to go to this salon, get our hair washed, and then get the lines. And I would cry even before we got there. I would cry upon waking up, knowing what I was going to walk into, and because of the lack of the education, you know, back in the days, you know, how could we as a people not have enough information about our own hair? So if you look at how, you know, colonization and slavery really impacted us so deeply, and these deep wounds of trauma that we can continue going ahead and maltreat each other, you know, on our hair. I've seen people put their hair on an ironing board and iron it, you know, like, you know, how desperate are we to alter our own hair? Like how much self-hate, what is left, you know? Um, so yeah, styling is important. Like if you see the picture on this Q&A, this was one of my winning photos. Do you remember that, Sabrina?
Mhm.
It was one of the sisters that,
For 1 second, just forgive me for 1 second. I was like, "Oh, did I? No, I didn't do that." Look, give credit where credit due, honey. Because I looked at that, I said, "Oh yeah, oh okay, no." But honey,
nice.
yes, honey. I
Yes.
mean, the work was incredible. It was in it. I was like, yes, I like that. So for you, Karingo, how does the challenge prepare you for the life afterwards?
Wow. Let me tell you something. The challenges that I went through, first of all, let me tell you, like I really believe I have favor. There is like a certain, whether it's my ancestors, the angels that walk with me, you know, so, and that's why I don't question when things look like they're not working in my purpose. I let it go because I'm like, okay, there's something happening here, and I need to let it go and let it unfold for my highest good. And I always do that, no matter what it is, you know, no matter how bad it looks. Like even when my son had to be rushed to hospital, I was like, okay, this is for our highest good. So whatever that need, I got down on my knees. I hadn't done that in a long time, you know, so I knew that that was like, yo, you need to get on those knees and call my name, you know, and so, you know, but that's it. Like you're prepared. I went in there, I got a hotel room which had 2 queen size beds, and I was like, all right, this is funny. Why did they, you know, make me do that? And I was just like, okay, whatever, you know. But because I prepared myself, I read, I was calm. I was able to read the new rules from the from the judges. Some people got disqualified because they didn't realize that 60% of the styling had to be done in front of the judges. They went into their hotel room and did whatever. I had brought African gear. I brought myself. I brought earrings, jewelry. I didn't know what I was going to encounter. But it's funny, like and you had to choose one focus model. Remember the fantasy style, which was that African goddess, and everything just worked out. So the bed, the extra bed, turns out like a sister who came and couldn't get her hotel room because somewhere she lost her IDs. And they wouldn't let her go anywhere. She ended up using that bed. Simone, she's in Philly. We're such good friends today, and we do work together. So, and you know, and she felt like I saved her, and I was like, listen, I knew that bed was there for something. I didn't know what, but it ended up being a great thing. Then the next day, we had the models. I had enough room in that space for us to do the practice the night before. Forget about that morning of, because I don't know. And I was taking my retightening class that time, and I was like, if I'm going to go to San Diego, I'm doing it all, you know. So I got my models prepped the day before. I was like, sorry, you're going to have to sleep uncomfortable with the rollers, but I'll see you after retightening. And because that's 60%, I left it for the next day in front of the client. And some people didn't read those fine details. So it really helped me to refine my art, to plan for uncertainty, to be grounded, to breathe, you know, and to take a moment just to some time out to just not even think about it. So Sabrina, last thing, what were your challenges?
But wait. But Andrea asked a really good question, and she says, for those of us who do not have your background and experience, what do you recommend we do in obtaining the ability to do styles on the client's head? I would definitely say come in and have a class. We either with myself or Karingo, so that we can give you the basis of what, you know, how to even start a style. Sometimes it's like, how do you start? And then it could just be something, a simple technique that we can both show you and explain to you how to make it happen. And then, I mean, it's visual. So you have to feel the hair. And that could be something that either Karingo or ourselves could get you to, you know, focus on, so that you can bring out your inner mastery. I hope that helps.
And I think also, just to add to that, Sabrina, thank you so much for sharing that in such an eloquent way, is is like that whole self-doubt, the building that confidence. There's no one builds confidence without having doing something over and over again. And I always go back even to my students. I don't know if you guys know Michael Phelps, who is the #1 swimmer in the world, right? He represents the US team. So the thing about swimming, which is what I love swimming, you're competing with your time. You're not really competing with everybody else, right? You're competing with the last time that you set because you want to get better. So it's like a self-discipline where you have to have tools to sort of assess, evaluate yourself and be honest, because a lot of us don't want to be honest, with ourselves. And it really starts with that. And some of us are going from class to class to class, but we never go to our mannequin and actually apply it. So then, how do you expect to move? And that's like a blockage, right? And those are some of the things that we talk about, like what's stopping you and what really can come along the way. So maybe some, little dumb comment that was told to you when you were 5 and you believed it, and that holds you back from actually elevating yourself to the next level. Willing to fail. I had to fail several times to be where I am, to build the kind of confidence that I have today. Things haven't always worked for me, no, but they definitely work for better now that I'm clear-headed and I'm not emotional. I now know I'm making business decisions, not personal decisions, because sometimes when we take our business and we start making personal decisions around it, we actually throw ourselves off and not think clearly to make better decisions for ourselves because we're emotional. So yeah, thank you. Real quick, 30 seconds. All right. What were your challenges during and before the competition, Sabrina, that you think you overcame?
Like when I said I dream big, my actual competition, even behind the scenes, is on my YouTube page. So if you go to queenofroots.com and look for me competing on my page, you will see all of my challenges, my fears, and everything. And then me getting on that stage in front of all of those people and dancing my ass off, excuse me, and getting my clients to do it too. So it took a lot. We had a routine. We had everything. I had a DJ. I mean, when I say I went for it, I was like, don't let me compete again.
Right. And you actually find yourself in a space of leadership because you have to coordinate everyone. Like when I had my African Goddess coming out, I had to get the drummer who I found had a drum that day. I had my drum beats on a thing, but I was like, oh, you have a real djembe drum? So bring the culture, bring the energy to the people, because that's always my mission. I exude, like I want when people look at me, I want you to know that I'm from the continent. And if you don't think I'm from the continent, I want to represent it, So
I like this question that we have now. It says, I want to say is like, how do you handle fear? But it says, do you handle fear? So if I'm reading it the way it's written by Esther,
okay,
is do you handle fear? Yes. Again, look what my title was COVID, and I explained to you coming from Panama how I was feeling. So with that being said, yes, but I still have to work through it because I'm here for a purpose. You got to remember what your purpose is here for. And one of my purposes here is to get you to your next level. What do you need to help you to achieve what you want to achieve? Where do you want to be? Let me give you some guidance. Me and Karingo here are here to assist you. So do I have fear? We was kind of bubbly right before we started, just, but then you have positive energy and everybody flowing. And then, we got our rock over here and everything. And she be like, let's get it popping. So just being a human being, everyone has that.
Yeah, oh, definitely. You're human. Feeling fear is, but it is false evidence appearing real, and some of these and their blockages. So I think we are actually going to start getting ready. I'm going to let you, Sabrina, go ahead. So Sabrina's going to be doing her demo with her model/client. Our clients are actually shocked, like, I'm a model today? Yes, that's the terminology. When a master stylist is working on you, you're officially a model, okay? Ain't that right, Sabrina? Because you're
right.
For a photo shoot, for maybe a hairdo, a product, depending on what the vision is or what the theme is. And just to take you back a little bit, Sabrina is going to be obviously she talked to us about her COVID-19. And so she's going to now illustrate like how we take that information and interpret it. So if you waited up until now, you're in for a treat. And some of you asked some questions about how do you style in the fear and so on. Yeah, we feel the fear. That's normal. You know, it's absolutely normal. It also actually also reminds you that you're living, you know, and sometimes you just got to, what you have to find, what's your formula, what works for you. For me, like I had to get up early this morning, go for a run. When I do that, it grounds me. You know, I run, I get all that extra oxygen because then I'm going to be over here like super hyper. I'm a high energy person, you know, so I need to like, when I get up, I'm like a full charge cell phone, you know, like ready to go. All kinds of apps going off at the same time. So I actually have to ground myself by going and doing running, some breathing, a little bit meditation, and then allowing myself, setting my intention for the day, and then allowing myself to go and, you know, serve the people. All right, Sabrina, take it away. It's your turn. Go ahead and wow us.
I thought we was doing this together.
Yeah, but you get started. Go ahead and get started. And then I'm gonna get my model to come. Yeah, go ahead and get started because once you get your lady down, one of us has to be on screen. Okay, look at that. Hi. All right, how you doing, sis? Thank you so much for availing yourself today.
You're
And
welcome.
yeah, so what you're gonna see now is master stylists, you know, basically, or any master stylist, you're always gonna find out that they kind of have their branding or their image or their look and so on. So it's like Sabrina, as you could see her, that's her, how she comes with her apron and everything. And I'm gonna let her take over and go ahead and tell us about what she's
Okay,
doing.
I understand. My apologies. So this is my lovely model here. And when we first met, one of the things she was like, I don't like my color and my hair is not, you know, I don't love it and things like that or whatever. So over the years, I'm turning you around, I have let her explore and have more fun with her hair. Now she's in love with it.
And only now.
Mhm. Okay, she said she getting there, but it was a whole lot better than what it was before.
All right, perfect.
Now, because she's the only one that's going to use this cape today, I did not have my neck strip, but not this right here, just to cover it. And then what I'm going to use is conditioner. This is conditioner, water and conditioner. We're just going to spray just a little bit into the hands here. Oh, this is cute. So cute. Anytime you're moving your hair, you should always have some form of conditioner on your hands. I know most people say oil. No, not oil, conditioner.
So you having you what you're saying, you have conditioner in your hands right now, Sabrina?
Say it one more time.
Are you saying you have conditioner right now as you're touching that dry hair?
Yes. I
Okay.
just sprayed it on right here.
All right. Missed it.
That's a good point. That's a good point, Sabrina, about using the conditioner. Why would we use that instead of oil?
So what happens? The conditioner absorbs into our hair, into our scalp. Oil just sits on top. So when it sits on top, it's going to collect all the impurities in the air, and then it sits on the hair and causes the hair to, you know, get dirty faster. It's not going to hold its own luster.
Okay.
It dries the hair out, actually.
That's great. That's a great tip. That's why we need that ebook.
Yes.
That's it. Who's working for that ebook today? Who's going to go live on Facebook today and tell us why this ebook?
Welcome, welcome to those that are watching us on Facebook. Hello, hello. We've got people on there watching.
Awesome.
Yes. Hey, Facebook. How y'all doing? I wonder if you can hear me through this.
Shinnery says hi, Sabrina. Is that her name?
Hi. How are you, honey bunny?
We've got Janelle, we've got Willa and Lisa.
Hey. Now,
Every
what
day.
I've done here in the front, it's a very sensitive, delicate area right here, but I gave her just a little bit of a flat twist. And then we turn over off to the side over this way, you'll see that I flat twisted it. But guess what? This can't come out because this young lady here slips a lot. So what is the best thing for us to do? I need to wear it. She needs to wear it in a nice way, and it's not too tight. And when she comes back for her retighten, guess who has less time in the chair? All right. She's dealing with some side issues, but guess what? Look at this style right here. You can't even tell that she has any issue. Then when the wind blows, guess what happens to these curls right here? Because we're not weighing it down. Give them a little shake. Right. 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 That's what we want. Real movement. These curls were curled with lock loops. I used the lock loops. We slept in them. We woke up. We took them out. Now we got curls for days.
Wow, that looks good. That's beautiful.
So thank you.
Can we see the back? Yes.
Yes.
Nice. So how will she keep that for when she goes to sleep and wakes up the next day?
So we will have her lovely lock sock or her bonnet that she would sleep in. When she wakes up in the morning, she will spray a little conditioner on her hands and go in and pull up her curls to give it moisture. My young lady here shampoos her hair on a weekly basis, so I'm not worried about her waiting too long to have her hair shampooed. And then she'll go right back in, put her rollers in, sit up under the dryer, and then bam, she got curls again for another week.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
My turn, right?
Your
Here
turn.
we go. All right. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much. If you're following us on Facebook and loving what you're seeing right now and getting some tips on things that you could use in with your customers right away, send us some hearts. Sabrina, we love purple. Send us some purple hearts. If you're sending me hearts, choose any one of these colors. I don't care. Just send
That's it right here. Okay.
all right. Yep. So listen, for me, it's like super important about being safe with our clients in COVID-19 during our COVID-19 best practices. Especially after working alongside Barbicide, there's some things that I have committed to actually demonstrate. So if you go on the Barbicide website, there are videos that I've done for them. And there's also a certification that says that every time I do a demo, I've taken an oath that I will always talk about the best practices in my demonstration. So in terms of best practices, if I know I'm going to be with a client for a really long time, I always put my visor. If I feel like I'm coughing or if my client comes in with a runny nose or a cough or anything like that, it's my right to put my visor to protect my eyes. And today, obviously I'll be wearing a mask, but obviously today, also these days they have all kinds of different masks because I knew I was doing a presentation and I feel really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel good for me. So I managed to use this. So these are some of the things that you could use to protect yourself. You could find them anywhere on Amazon. If you needed links, you could send me. So the other thing too at Lock Sisters and at Studio, it's imperative that we wear coats, closures that close in the back so that we make sure that we're fully protected. And this is like waterproof so that whatever I'm doing, even if the client is water pours on me and so on, I would then basically be protected. As well, I make sure before I actually even start working on the client, I make sure I sanitize my hands. That is like super important. And when I do, I'm going to do everything that I do. I don't put jewelry on because sometimes product gets caught in here, shampoo and all of that, and could cause infection. So we want to make sure that your nails are clean, hands are clean, and you're ready to put your hands on the client. And of course, in today's world, we must make sure that our clients are wearing their mask. And if you could see, Black Lives Matter. You see that? We are all about our theme today. We are not playing. We want to send you love. And this is my wonderful, beautiful model, Ashley. And she has been wearing Sisterlocks for 10 months. 10 months. 10 months. So, and what I'm going through is exactly what I do for every client every time before I start my service. So this is a good tip. If you show up today, we've got plenty of tips for you guys to take away today. And also it's an idea for us to show you what, what hands-on you're going to get, what it's going to look like, the mentorship classes are going to look like. Because we take you from the very basics to growing your business, to budgeting, and of course, promoting yourself on social media. So I did, this is after washing her hair. I washed her hair the day before yesterday, yes. And I 2-strand twisted it and left it in Bantu knots. This way we don't have to sit under the dryer for a long time. But I want you to see the way I put my Bantu knot, it makes it easier for me to just slide it out. Her hair feels really soft because I washed it. Again, she's still 10 months. I haven't put conditioner in her hair yet because she still gets slippage. And then eventually the idea of removing the Bantu knots is that you will get this type of an effect, right? So this, you don't have to sit under the dryer. There's no extra cold, cold air, hot air going on the locks. Avoid heat as much as possible. Like Sabrina and I do, we actually just wash our hair. Like even last night when we were making our run through, we had our rollers in our hair, letting our hair dry overnight, and we were taking it out this morning. And it's so funny when we come on screen and we both look the same, yeah, and using the same lock loops. That's funny. So as you could see, so she's still in the early stages. Her hair has grown like super. I would say since Ashley started this journey, I would say her hair has doubled in length. Why does that happen? Why does our hair grow really fast? The less we do, what we know about Afro-Can people, the less we do to our hair, the faster it grows. The less we disrupt the scalp instead of always forcing unnecessary hair to come out unnecessarily, the more we do that, the stress, the hair breaks and slows down in its growth process, right? But if the hair is washed and well kept, and by the way, the first number, Sabrina, could you tell them the number one thing before styling? What must we do first?
Clean hair, and it definitely has to be retightened. And I'll say within 2, I'll give it 3. I could work with 3 because that means I might have to touch up that first row or that second row right there in the hairline, but nothing over 3 weeks. For photos, for models, has to be clean.
Has to be clean.
Has to be clean.
And the retightening has to be fresh. Could you talk about that time when we went to do the photo shoot and we found 20 models with the so-called retightening, and we were anyway, could you get into some of those challenges, please, while I undo this?
Oh my, okay. With that being said, Chazra, I know you're there listening and everything, but that was like the first time I understand it within myself. So most of my clients don't know, but I have to wear gloves when I'm shampooing hair. And I'm not saying that my clients don't shampoo their hair, but over the years, I found out that I'll get this rash on my hands if I just happen to just be shampooing hair without gloves on.
Okay.
So when we go out to do this photo shoot and the lady's hair were not to at least a standard where Karingo's and Chazra's hands wasn't irritated, both, that means it's actually, it works against us when it comes to styling instead of work with us, because we need the hair to be pliable. What does that mean? Pliable means like if I stretch it, it's going to stretch back, or if I do something with it, it's going to move over this way and then move back. But when the hair doesn't, if the hair is not clean, you can't get this. You won't be able to get this. You won't be able to get luster without putting artificial shine on it. So that's where it has to be clean. And then what is clean? Everybody's definition of clean is different. But that means you see that the shampoo is lathered from the scalp to the end. That means not when you put the shampoo on and then you ever see it evaporate. When it evaporates, that means that it has way too much impurities into the scalp. You should be able to lather up and the lather sits there until you rinse it out. So that's, like I said, when I'm teaching my clients, I'm always telling them, I need you to make sure you put that shampoo directly onto your scalp. So I just finished doing a locking session on a young lady that had, well, it was 10, but some of it was 11 inches of hair. So anyway, on the last day, I was like, I got to shampoo my hair. So as she's under the dryer, because you leave with a style, I'm showing her that I'm lathering my hair from scalp to end. that lets you know that my hair and my scalp is clean. So, Karingo, you're gonna have to do some worlds of curls, honey,
I know,
cause
I know. So look
you
at this. This is so lovely. So this
dun
is
dun dun dun.
like simple, right? The Bantu knot, you can wear it like this. You can now then go ahead and do updos as you feel. And you see the beauty about getting a nice retightening is that you could see the details in the hair and the style just sort of appears to be gives that 3D image, right? So retightening, making sure that the hair is clean. If her hair was not clean just the day before yesterday, we wouldn't be getting this kind of balance, right? And even the way when you look at it, our hair is not shiny like the synthetics or the weaves, but there is a healthy luster. You could tell good natural hair from unhealthy natural hair. And this is
That's
pretty
the difference. We always have to explain luster and shine is not the same.
it's not the same.
So
The same.
so when I go outside, you're gonna see my luster. My clients see that luster in their hair. It's not that shine that we normally get when we have a relaxer and things like that.
So
So
Curls
I am
are
loving this free
beautiful.
forming. I mean, like she could do so much with
Yes.
that.
so
Those
much.
curls are
So
beautiful.
much.
You could do so much with this. I mean, it is endless, and that's the beauty about having the smaller locks. That the stylability gives you much greater width, a lot more that you could do. That literally 365 days of the year, you can have a new style.
I
And this,
like that you had the Bantu knots as a style. I like that you could do the Bantu knots as a style and then you take it out and now you got this head full of curls. That's beautiful.
and you could do updos, and you could do whatever you want. But for me, because I always love, you always got to bring a little bling to the party. You gotta bring a little bling to the party. And I love like when women decorate themselves. Like for me, like this kind of like goddess appearance, and just enhancing yourself as you move through the day. And sometimes like if you go into different parties, we're also approaching what is it? Halloween. For those of you who like to dress up, this is an opportunity to just do something different with your hair, you know or we could even do it as something to hold her hair up, this style really works well for women who are like weddings and things like that. Oops.
Hmm. Beautiful.
You have an assortment of things that you can do. So basically, starting from the Bantus, and Bantus are an African, again, Black Lives Matter, all the way from Africa. That's another African influence hairstyle that we could see that was used was worn by certain girls at a certain age to demonstrate certain kind of cultures. Whether she was going through puberty or she was available for marriage, and how it was done. And also the other thing I want to conclude right before styling, the beauty about our hair, we've actually even some customs that you find even in Colombia, you find that they used to braid maps, road maps or skate routes on each other's hair so that they could communicate when the master would not allow them to commune. So they would braid their hair to communicate, like going through the cornmeals, out through across the river, and that would always be demonstrated through the hair. So we also understand that in our culture, our crown is so important. So if you really want to venture in styling it, actually simpler than you think it is. When you get a few tips and allow your creativity to unfold, and expose yourself by looking at other styles to be inspired, but always knowing, like for me, when a client brings me a picture, I'm not going to copy the picture. I'm going to use that as an influence. You want to always disclaim that because remember, you're a loctician, not a magician. All right. So you're going to create, you see the sample of what the stylist wants or the client wants, and then you can offer them something similar. You kind of get the goal of the direction that they're moving in. So if you have any questions for us, I hope this has been enlightening. Keep it safe. Um, Remember that this is an industry that is filled with love. It is our industry, and we need to take it back. The natural economy. We are making our own products, as you could see. One of our supporters, Personal Effects. This is one of her products, a lock set. If you want to know more about her, visit her at lockset.com. And for more information at Personal Effects. Thank you so much, Chaz, for supporting us. like we mentioned,
Yes.
the master stylist. And I'm telling you, we would not have been well put together if it wasn't for the S. Gavin's Consulting, the person behind that you don't see behind all of this, the person who holds us accountable, the person who tells us the truth, the person who organizes us and helps us refine our vision when we come up with ideas. We want to thank you so much, Sharifa, for being
Right.
the project manager we've ever worked with. So, and to all the people out there, love, and to all the clients, where's your client, girl? Oh, your model, bring her out. We want to see you, boo. Just a little bit. Yes, come on, in our community. Yes, yes. So just as moving forward and in closing, remember to go ahead and register for the mentorship with Karigo and Watch Your Business Thrive. And we have a limited offer that ends December 2020. I invite you to go to www.sisterlocksmentorshipacademy.com. Number two, remember, if you want to get that ebook from Sabrina, you must go live. Tell us where you're from, what your biggest takeaway was from today, the reason why you need this information, and why we should probably, maybe we'll sneak in a 30-minute meeting with you between Sabrina and I.
Yes.
Guys, and mark your calendars today. December 7th, 2020, 10 a.m. will be our next challenge. Make sure that you are available. Let us know if this time also works for you guys. We're working to refine as we continue growing this Facebook Live support group. And
Yes.
yeah, and for me, also look out for November, I think 15th. It should be on my Instagram on Karigo_1 for the next class, which is timing is everything. So if you're having challenges timing with your time, when you're doing your retypings or styling, this is a great class. I usually like to talk about the sciences behind that, because sometimes it's just a few little tips, and that will also encourage you to move on. Again, we want to thank everyone for coming to our workshop today, From Workshop to Mastery, Transform to a Master of Your Own Craft, and this Sisterlocks competition. And we did this Sisterlocks competition style because this is actually how we work. And so what you see is what we do on a regular basis. And our businesses are example of the work that we've put together, the things that we've come to understand, and what we're willing to do to show you the tips. One of the things that I think Sabrina's class for washing hair, Sabrina's classes are all about how to wash hair, what type of results, the products to use, how to approach your customer before washing. We find that in the Sisterlocks community, because a lot of people have home-based businesses, they're not washing hair. You don't know how people are coming unless you really trust your client. You don't really know how they're washing their hair unless you insist on having a video to see how they're washing it and know that it's being done to par. So you may want to teach them how to properly wash their hair if they're coming to you like that. Because between Sabrina and I, she talked about a rash. I had fungus in my nails for 3 weeks. Because
Wasn't gonna say all that.
no, I'm gonna say it. I did, but that was like 10 years ago when I started in this industry. I learned because I was what I wanted to police. And I saw my customer. The customer had the scalp was in poor condition, but I went ahead and served him. And then I had an issue in my nails, and when I got to my dermatologist, I was told that it was fungus. I took care of it with vinegar. However, the thing is, it's real. And like Sabrina, I don't wash hair without gloves. So, and it's okay for you to protect yourself.
Yeah.
All right, y'all.
Yes.
Yeah, so thank you so much for coming on today. Send us hearts, love. Go live today on this Facebook page. I think the unit tells you what you need to do. And it talks about that, how to register, the www.sisterlocks master mentorship program, academy.com. All of that is there for Sabrina's ebook. You have to go live if you want that, and you will be receiving it and personally hearing from her when
Yes.
have chosen the person. So if you're on the Zoom, feel free to hop on and go to Facebook and make sure you go live as soon as possible, because we are actually going to be gifting the first person who breaks the ice. So all the best to you guys. Continue to follow us. We look forward to
Thank
helping.
you, Esther. Thank
Yes.
you, Andrea. Thank you, everybody on Facebook. Thank you.
So my thanks, Chaz. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.
And I think that's it. Are we done, Sharifa?
Did we do it? Did we do it?
High five, virtual five, Sabrina. High five. Hey, high five. There's a virtual five for you. Love you, girl. We did it. We did it. Much love to everybody.
Andrea says, Karingo, call me, please. Call me.
I will. I will, definitely.
Mhm.
All right, people.
Bye.
Bye, Sabrina. It was lovely.